Good morning, first grade. So we just have a few things to talk about today, and one of our very first things is our trouble in Numberland, the trouble that the gnomes had to help with and solve. Now we did a very nice drawing of that, showing them putting their jewels into sacks of 10. And they noticed that you can count the sacks of 10, and that shows you how many are you have in groups of 10. So say you have 8 sacks of 10, you have 80 jewels. And you might have noticed that then when you write your number, 87 perhaps, you put the 8 first and then the 7. Now there's a very special name for where that 8 goes, and it's called the tens place, because it's groups of 10. So if you have 8 groups of 10, you'll have 8 in the tens place. So today the poem that we're putting in our morning lesson books is all about this problem and the solution. So I will let you read this poem together with your parents, but I wanted to show you the little picture at the bottom of the page. So here is my page, and today we're going to put a border around it. I did a green border and then a very light color in the background. So I did a gold and yellow in the background. And you can see I wrote my poem, and try and do it as straight as you can, even without lines. Now, you can see that Miss Link even had trouble fitting in my picture along with my poem. So if you need to take 2 pages to do this, don't worry, put it onto 2 pages. You might even put your poem and then the picture part on the next page if you'd like, because this is the part I wanted to show you. Here you have how many sacks? 8, because that's how many were in our story. And when you think, and I didn't show the 10 jewels in each sack. If you draw bigger sacks and have more space, you are welcome to show 10 little jewels inside of each one of those. And if you have the time to do it, go ahead. And then you can see 8 sacks of 10 makes 80. And then I drew the leftover jewels, the ones, and there are 7 of those. There's my 7. And down here I made a special label. So when we wrote our number 87, I showed you that our 8 is in a spot called the tens place. And our 7 goes in a spot called the ones place. So if you think about this, and let's say we have 5 sacks of 10. Do you think that you would use the number 5 to show? You would put that in the tens place because you have 5 sacks of 10. And what if you had 4 left over? You'd put that in the ones place. So instead of having 8 and 7 here, you would have 5 and 4. So 5 sacks of 10 and 4 left over would mean how many? 54 jewels all together. So have some fun making this page and showing your drawings of the sacks and your very carefully formed numbers. Now, I sent along instructions for another game. We played Find the Number last week, where you had to run and find the number when you heard a math fact. Now, today, I want you to play Find the Number again, but a little bit differently this time. This time, I want you to find 2 dice. They could be from a board game. I know I sent along 1 to each of you, so you have at least 1. And if you can't find another one, you can just make up your own problems or use your flashcards from your matching game. Or make up some more. And your parents, I bet, are very quick with making up those number problems. But that is what you may use your dice to find the number. So let's say one dice said 4 and the other dice said 3. What number would you go find if you were adding them together? Did you say 7? Because that's right. So you would have to run and find the 7 and maybe have a little race with your parents or your siblings. See who can remember where it is first. Now, the very last thing I wanted to do today is some practice with our number sentences. And I have some little story problems for you. So, this week, all of them are about raccoons. The first one is a mother raccoon had 5 babies. 3 of the babies had a black tail tip, but some of them had a white tail tip. How many had a white tail tip? So, can you make a number sentence for that? Now, here's a little hint. As you're thinking about it, and write it down later, or pausing the video, often when we are doing a problem where we're taking away, we call it finding the difference. And the finding the difference, taking away type of problems are subtraction problems. So think about that if you're finding a difference, that you may be using your subtraction symbol. And I know I gave a little hint last week, but I don't think we had any subtraction problems last week. This week, you may need to use it. Think about that one. So, 5 babies, 3 with a black tail, and how many with a white tail? And of course, raccoons have striped tails, so it's just a little tip at the end. Here's my next question. The raccoon family loved to go to Farmer Smith's cornfield. Not you, Smith, Farmer Smith. Now, every night, they ate 10 ears of corn. How much corn did they eat in 4 nights? Can you make a number sentence for that? That's a good one. Think about that. One more. But this one you might have to do some writing down of some of these numbers to help you remember, or you might just have them all up here. So, Mother Raccoon was very good at fishing. She caught lots of fish. Now, on Monday, she caught 5 fish. On Tuesday, she caught 3 fish. On Wednesday, she caught 4 fish. And on Thursday, she caught 3 again. 2 questions about those fish. 1, how many fish did she catch all together over those 4 days? You don't need to write a number sentence, just let me know. You can write down the answer or say it out loud. But I'll let you think about it a little bit. Now, thinking about those days, which day did she catch the most fish? Did you remember? I won't say it so that you can go back and listen again if you didn't hear. But I bet you figured it out and noticed right away which day she caught the most fish. So I look forward to seeing those number sentences that you made for the first 2 and to find out what you answered for the last one. And I hope you have a wonderful day and a great weekend.